Happy freaking Wednesday, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Man, I gotta say, like, there's just something about Wednesday live streams. You know, I've done a couple of the Saturday live streams and they're going strong, and we're going to continue doing them because that's how you start. You just start. But there's something about Wednesday energy, right? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I just get stoked for these things. But here I am in the waiting room, you know, getting my glass of water because I am perpetually dry-throated. We'll let that one die. And I just noticed, I look over, I'm like, damn, there is people popping off in the chat. So we're not going to waste any time, guys. Gotta do some shout outs. Shout out to Marco, Neil McKenzie, Ghost Malone, Space Ghost EDC, Colby Venable, The Night's Edge. Hey, shout out to The Night's Edge. Chris229, Don Will, Todd Carr, B Devious in the house, James Alton, Top Dog. Top Dog always gets some air horns. Let's see. Am I missing anybody? Am I missing people? Mind of Milton. How's it going, brother? Welcome in. Todd Carr. If I already shouted you out, you'll get 2 shout outs because why not? Charles Wooden as well. Welcome in. Jim Turgliafera. Welcome in. Scott Brew. Dwayne Letterman. Guys, and to all you channel members out there, if you ever wonder, like, hey, does being a channel member make a difference to the channel? 100% it does. The channel is growing, right? You know, we recently did the 6K giveaway, you know, so we're going places. We're not quite at the point where the channel's making a decent amount of money. So in short, to all my channel members out there, whether you got one naturally or whether you were gifted one by one of our very generous patrons, thank you. Each and every one of those memberships means a lot, not just monetarily, but also because I look at the members list and it gets me fired up. It gets me really fired up. It tells me that people are actually interested in what I do for fun, and it helps keep everything else fun. So again, to all the channel members, regardless of how you got there, I appreciate you, my friends. Guys, I feel like we time traveled. Like, it feels like a Tuesday. Like, I got all this Wednesday energy, but it feels like a Tuesday. What happened to the rest of the week? Pretty soon, we're going to be saying, what happened to all my taxes? Hopefully, you guys get all your taxes back this year. I hope I do. I mean, taxes, man. Shout out to Mark Parks. Thanks for joining us as well, my friend. Guys, it's been a crazy week, and maybe that just happens when you have a busy week. You know, things fly by. You take the time in the day for granted, and then you get halfway through your week like, I'll never get those moments back. There it goes, gone forever. Hopefully to live fondly in your memories, or not. What did you carry today? I carried this guy. A knife that I love dearly. A lot of other people look at this knife and they're like, I don't know about the blade shape. I don't know about the handle shape. This one is just so good. And I'll tell you what does it for me is when I pick up premium knives from my collection that cost $300, $400, $500. And then I can start comparing them, fit and finish. It's been a struggle lately doing these updates because I always feel like they go from updates to being more like vent sessions. Where I'm like, I can't believe people don't like this. I love it. I'm just eclectic like that, I guess. But that's the cool thing about the knife hobby. It's the cool thing about the community is that we can all have this wide variety of tastes. And I can like something and see all the reasons in the world to like it. And you don't have to. Our paths might cross on certain knives. They might diverge on others, but it's really cool because there's so many out there that everyone can really find their lane and exist within it. And that's pretty cool. Hey, shout out to Lord Needham. Welcome in, another channel member. Jay Corskitten, welcome in, another channel member. Joseph Jones joining us as well. Kevin C in the house. Mr. Prosthetic. Joseph S as well. Pretty fly for a knife guy. Welcome in, guys. I was about to say we were, but I was just talking about how crazy it is that there is such a huge variety of knives and knife designs, and how we can all have different opinions. But what brings us together at the end of the day is our love for the hobby, our love for the community, and I think that that's great. I know that he's in the middle of his own live right now, but I will go ahead and shout out Jared Neves Knives. It's his birthday, so happy birthday to Neves Knives. Hey, we got a legend in the house. Mattisfaction. Welcome in, Maddie. You get some air horns. I love the sound effects. Some people are like, that's really corny, and I'm like, I don't care. Have you ever watched like a late night show and you're like, I wonder what I would do with my own late night show? Well, here we are. Call it the late night show. Maybe I should. Hey, Oreo Dave, welcome in. Another legend, channel member, channel moderator. Oreo Dave, how's it going? Yeah, guys, it is it's pretty cool though. I love that we can all have different opinions and still come together at the end of the day, even if we disagree on certain designs, even if we disagree on certain knives or certain things. Like, for example, I am really growing an appreciation for slip joint knives. I do this thing where I go down the rabbit hole and I start thinking about why, because for the longest time I thought about slip joints and my thought was, why? They don't lock. You can't open them one-handed. They're dangerous. Why do people like slip joints? But I grabbed a hold of that idea and I was like, I gotta find out. And so I've handled a few now, and I think I'm starting to get it. You know, there's something to be said for fidgeting with your knives. I do it all the time, often to the detriment of others. People get annoyed with how much I fidget with my knives. It's one of those things where I do it without even thinking about it. And when I marinated on that, like, why do I fidget with knives without thinking about it? That's dangerous. And I think about how many times I've cut myself on accident because of thoughtless use and handling of something that is essentially a tool. And sometimes I think that we can forget that. And not that I necessarily think that that's a bad thing either. I think that the reason why we have so many cool designs these days is because people are having fun, whether it's the consumer or the designer or the manufacturer. And so I thought about it. I was like, you know what? Maybe there is a place for slip joint knives because they temper us. You know, they're like drinking a glass of cold water, you know, in the middle of a drinking fest. You know, you drink the water to help make sure you don't get a hangover. And this is water, by the way, guys, but it tempers us. And I think that there is a place for it. You know, in my last video I did on the QSP Hedgehog, I was thinking about it like people are afraid of being cut by slip joints. And that's something that I hear in the comment section. But I'd be willing to bet that just as many injuries and accidents happen with locking knives. Just look at all the button locks that have failed. And it's not just button locks, guys. It's frame locks. It's liner locks. Every single lock that I know of has an instance of failing. Even the new ram locks from Microtech, they have had instances of failing. Never had this one fail, by the way. This one is rock solid. So hopefully Microtech saw that and fixed their little issue. But so in a world where we have locking knives that can fail, is it more dangerous to have a knife that you know doesn't lock and makes you think about it? And if you don't, you will end up learning that lesson one way or the other. Or to have a knife that you think is going to stay locked, but might not. Food for thought. Also, I'm really enjoying the new slip joint designs. The Knight's Edge says, Rollshambo, thanks so much for the tips and tricks, sir. I'm still miles away from your level of badassery, but I've been trying my hardest and pumping out a video or two in the meantime. You, sir, are the GOAT. Hey, well, man, thank you. That is so kind. Very kind. By no means is my YouTube game the greatest. I learn new things every day. I'm always learning. I'm always searching. And sometimes it's product knowledge that I'm learning. Sometimes it is knowledge of broadcasting or just trying to make content easier to consume and more entertaining. So it's a path of futility because you never stop learning. So thank you for the kind words, man. That really does mean a lot. Jim Turgliafair says, slip joints don't cut people. People cut people. Is that that reminds me of that scene in Happy Gilmore where the big giant guy is chasing down the antagonist and he's wearing a shirt that says, guns don't kill people, I kill people. Hopefully that's the right reference. My brain is full of nothing but like late 90s, early 2000s movie references. It's not good. I'm entertained though. Josh 33025 says, I don't like the slip joints. I've tried. I'll put it to you like this. If you can get past, like, if you don't mind the walk and talk where it's like a double jointed thing, and you don't mind opening a knife two-handed, and you get down to the nitty-gritty of what are you opening your knife for? Because if the answer is that I just want to do some mindless fidgeting with my knife, which, trust me, I am not going to hate on anybody for doing that because I do that. But if you're actually pulling the knife out to use it, one of the best things about slip joints is they are very purpose-built. You'll find thinner blade geometries, which are great for slicing. It means when you sharpen it, the edge will stay sharper longer. You'll find really good utility style blade shapes as well, like the QSP Hedgehog. Check out the QSP Hedgehog. It's like $58. And man, I was loaned a QSP Hedgehog from dnknives.com, and I love that knife. $58. And if you want something more premium, you can get one from Traditional Pocket Knives that has like a camo carbon fiber or fat carbon fiber titanium and M390. And unlike Jack Wolf Knives, you're not going to be paying $300. You pay like $145. What? QSP Hedgehog. Love that knife. Top Dog says, there is a place for them. In my pocket. Soon to be in my pocket too. B Devious says, oh my goodness, I lost my spot in the chat. Where'd the comment go? Where did it go? Hold the phone. I'm searching for it. He says, for me, the slips need a pocket clip, not another thin. Do you mean like the slip that you put the slip joint knife in? Or do you mean that you want to see more slip joints with pocket clips? Good question. Zenex says, Rollshambo, my man, making my night shift go by faster. Stoked to be here. Dude, I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. Sometimes when I'm at work, I turn on a live stream. I put in an earbud, go incognito. You know, the sneaky link. Oh, man. B Devious says, the only slip I have is a QSP Hedgehog. Do you have one of the premium versions or do you have one of the more affordable versions? Trick question. They're both good. Joseph Jones says the M390 Hedgehog is a straight laser beam. It's ridiculous how good the cutting geometry is on that. And, you know, I get so much enjoyment out of like actuating and handling knives like this all day long. But there is no way in hell that this Demco 8020.5 is going to win in a cutting competition with a QSP Hedgehog. There's very few, like it, honestly, it just has some of the best cutting geometry that I've come across in a small pocket knife. I would say that it's probably on par with TRM knives. And I can say that because I have one. I have the TRM Shadow, which is ridiculously thin. I don't, but there's something pleasurable, right, about pulling out a knife that you know is sharp and you know is going to literally just split the time and space between whatever you're cutting, and there's something very satisfying about that. Until you go to hand that knife to your wife and she says, "No, I'll just use the scissors." Oh man, the defeat is real. You know, you spend an hour, 2 hours sharpening your knife. She gets an Amazon package and you're like, "Hey, good looking. How about you use my knife?" And she says, "Nope, got some scissors." Oh, that crushes me. My soul. Every time that happens, it just dies a little bit on the inside. Zenex says, as for slip joints, the Boker Bad Guy is the only one that's caught my interest. Big, heavy, chonky boy would complement my Boker Little Valen. Just remove the coating and sharpen pure love. Oh, the Little Valen is great. I had the Midgards Messer one. We may have already had this conversation, but the whether you get the Midgards Messer Little Valen or the Boker Little Valen, which is the more affordable version, the blade geometry is awesome for cutting the crap out of whatever. For utility cuts, it's perfect. B. Devious says, more slip joints with pocket clips. Sorry, I've had a few Gatorades. And yes, I have the Gecko version, fat carbon fiber Hedgehog. Just wish it had a pocket clip for myself. You know, the cool thing about slip joints is just about any leather worker out there worth their snuff can make a leather slip for your slip joint. And I think that that's cool because sometimes you get that little bit of extra custom work and it makes it more enjoyable when you go to use it because you get to, you know, pull out that custom slip. For example, I know Duty's Daggers. My boy Duty does make his own custom slips for slip joint knives. And I think once I add one to my collection, I'm going to hit him up and be like, dude, Kevin, hit me with the custom slip. We'll see if he can do one maybe with the channel logo on it. That would be cool. That'd be really cool. Joseph Jones says, I got the TRM Atom and Neutron. Nice. Fantastic knives. I absolutely love what TRM is doing, by the way. Like, these are classic, timeless designs that will stand the test of time. Whether it's a Shadow or a Neutron or an Atom, especially the Atom. Like, geez. What they're doing is impressive. Their fit and finish, chef's kiss. It is fantastic. And it makes me wonder if they stick around long enough, if they will eventually get to Spyderco levels of legendary. Maybe. You never know. You never know. Although I have been called blasphemous for even mentioning that. Jim Miller says, my wife uses her baby banter. That's good, man. You know, I think that as knife enthusiasts, we tend to be very religious about it, being like, you know what? Scissors might be better for that job, but I think I could probably get away with using my knife. And then we just use the knife, even if the scissors are the better option. But every Christmas, when it comes time to cut that tape and open those boxes, every Christmas, we're like, now is my moment, right? Like, don't you dare pick up those scissors. I came prepared. All right. Charles Wooden says the Advanced Knife Bro stump lifter is pretty cool slippy. You know, I haven't checked that out yet. Talk about an entertaining channel. Advanced Knife Bro is funny. He is so funny. The way that he does his voiceovers is perfect. He's just naturally gifted at those voiceovers. Okay. Mark Park says, I have the Hedgehog in jig tie in a duty slip. Nice, man. That's what I'm talking about. Jim Miller says the Devo Lush was designated opener this Christmas. Oh man, that's cool. The Devo Lush was one that I really wanted, and I just, like so many other amazing knives, it didn't line up. But as you know, with the Devo knives, if you find one that you like, you better hope that you can make the funds line up, because they will sell out. I'm very happy with my my Devo Nip, the Box Destroyer 9000. This knife is so good for box opening. Want to talk about good cutting geometry? S90V, it'll stay sharp forever. Perfect cutting geometry, fits in the fifth pocket, fidgety. Devo has a banger on this one. Hey, and shout out to John Blackman, member for 2 months. John Blackman says, Shambo, what's your next knife going to be? I don't necessarily know yet. We're in this weird dead zone, and I'm hesitant. I'm hesitant because, for one, there's a lot of really cool knives that were released very recently, and but they're knives that have been out. When I spend my money, I try to be very strategic about it, because I don't want to spend it and then miss out on something that I would have much rather had and had the opportunity to review for the channel. So I always try to prioritize new stuff that people haven't seen before, because I want to put it on my channel. That doesn't mean that I have no interest in knives that have already been released before. That doesn't mean that at all. But right now, I'm just trying to see. I'll tell you what I've been interested in recently, and this is one that I'm going to try to get my hands on. It's the Kaiser Task. There's something about this knife, the Kaiser Task, and it's not a super expensive knife, but that's one of the reasons why I like it. The Kaiser Task just looks fantastic. 154 cm. Micarta. I like what they did here with the thumb studs and the deployment hole. And let's see if I can get a full picture of that. It just looks, man, it looks great. Looks like a good purpose-built knife. And I believe it was released this year, right? Did they release it at like in December? Is this a 2024? I could have, well, it says 2023 new. Okay, so it must have been a late December release. But still, the Kaiser Task is just one that looks fantastic. Let's see if I can find a better picture. I don't like the picture. I feel like the picture they took of that knife is kind of misleading. Can Knife Center? No, their picture looks distorted too. Anyways, the Kaiser Task looks fantastic. $82, right? Micarta 154 cm. It's got their clutch lock, which I really enjoy their clutch lock. I like that you can change the tension on the Omega spring. I like that they give you extra Omega springs. I like that a lot. Not the hugest fan of their pocket clip, but pocket clip is something that I can, of course, get over. Because as long as it is as long as it functions really well. It's something I can be like, you know what, aesthetically, maybe it's not my thing, but as long as it does its function well and it doesn't get in the way of ergos, I can forgive a stamped steel pocket clip. The Night's Edge says, I'm going to watch a movie with the girlfriend, have to leave early, getting the look. Ooh, the look. We know what that means. Hey man, have a good rest of your night. Thanks for dropping by. And yeah, we'll see you on the flip side. Edgy American in the house. Edgy. Brother, it's been a minute since I've seen you. He says the panels behind you are squared to the screen and it's driving me insane. Squared to the screen. It could be the tilt of the camera. I don't know. The camera is like, it's not at eye level. It's a little bit above. So you're getting a tilt. I'm sorry. Some people have that OCD. But I can't change it. I can't. We're in the middle of a live. You understand. Jim Miller says, Tori Casey wound up buying a dishwasher and paying a bunch of unanticipated bills. Still need tires. Damn, man. Jim, it seems like you always need tires. Have we had this conversation before? Do I have deja vu? Get the tires, Jim. I hate paying for tires. Tires are always so damn expensive. Ask me how I know. Is it story time? I blew a tire and I wasn't just going anywhere. I was going somewhere in my car, taking my wife to the hospital because our daughter was about to be born. And on the way, the tire went. Of all the times. Of all the times. And then you go to replace the tires and you can't, I couldn't be picky. I had to get somewhere. Paid way too much. But I got where I needed to go, and that's honestly what was most important. Edgy American says, my OCD is raging right. Rage. I'm sorry, man. I can't fix it. I can't fix it. I would have to change the angle of the camera, and I would have to change the frame in which the camera is sitting on. There's like a scaffold frame going over my desk that the camera mounts on, and it is just above, so it's not quite at eye level. I think what if I did this? Yeah, see, like I would have to do that to get it to square up. So I'm sorry, man. It's not gonna be square. Maybe I just need a new background. Maybe I should do like a green screen or something. I don't know. The Night's Edge says, Rollshambo, your back panels are glorious. Thanks, man. He said, I meant not squared. I don't know how to make you happy. I try. You don't win them all, though. Jay Scott says, just opened my Padre that finally came in today. Beautiful knife, but debating whether to keep it or not. Oh man, I would keep it. And I'm going to tell you why. That knife is very, very popular. The Padre is super cool. Okay, maybe if it was me, I would keep it because they're not going to be doing a whole lot more of those runs. So if you like it even a little bit, I would hang on to it because they're not going to be doing those in the same breath. Maybe now is the time to sell it. Maybe it is. I'd love to have one. Another knife that didn't line up. Edgy American says, it's okay, your handsome face and sultry looks makes it worth staying. Hey, shout out to Steve Sweeney, channel member in the house. He says, sultry voice. I meant maybe I should go to sleep. Man, you're good. I have a hard time forming thoughts at the end of Wednesdays. Edgy says that he's been on hiatus. Come back, man. Come on back. The door is always open in this community. You know that. I've seen channels that shouldn't have come back. But you're one of those that definitely should. Make a comeback, Edgy. J. Scott says... Oh, I already read that one. Okay. Oh, so I tried this thing last week. Saturday? Yeah. Where I got my setup to do the chat highlights. I didn't like doing it very much. It was weird. I kind of had to keep track of 2 chats at once. I don't multitask that well. So we're not doing that. We're not doing the chat highlights. I'm just going to read them out loud. Hey, welcome into Craig Vincent. Craig says, with all the new affordable knives that drop constantly, I can't keep up with buying them, but I certainly do try. I hear you. I'm right there with you. I know that you put in a valiant effort this last December. J. Scott says, but I really want to keep it. It took so long to come. I bought another more expensive one while I was waiting. Kind of need to offset the cost. Ooh. Sorry. My man. If you really like it, don't sell it. Find some other way to offset the cost. And the reason why I'm going to say that is because Kunwu isn't going... They have a finite amount of those. They are discontinuing their designs from 2023, and they're moving towards more risky designs. They're going in a completely new direction. This is what Sergio from Kunwu has told the public. So if you sell it, you have to understand you might not get it again. You could sell it and it could be gone forever. So if you break up with that knife, just realize it's gone. B. Devious says, catch and release on the Padre. It's their most popular knife. They'll definitely have a release and another re-release, etc. I don't know, man. That's not necessarily the story that they've put out there. I think that they have a finite that they're going to make because they said that they were going to discontinue all the models from 2023. That's what Sergio said. Maybe he's reconsidering. But he did mention that he was planning on doing different things and they wanted to focus on new designs. So I would not be surprised if that happens. You never want to sell it and then find out that they're never going to make them again. That's the worst. Steve Sweeney says, I can't wait till they make my ideal knife with the correct scales. Anything but smooth, slippery aluminum. Praxis button lock. It's so close. Anything is possible, man. Top Dog says, I got a chat on the way. I am happy. Nice. Congratulations, man. Tori Casey says, got stupid with buying in December. Pretty much done for a while. You're not alone. You are definitely not alone. I've noticed. It's kind of crazy, but I've noticed. And I do a lot of research on the tubes, on the YouTubes. After December, the whole community was so tired that there was a massive drop off, not only in knife sales, to the point where like Hinderer XM18s, which are normally sold out or sell out very quickly, those were hanging around. The Brian Brown Jaeger M's were hanging around. Demko, the Demko knives were hanging around. Knives that have no business being in stock were in stock for a while. And then not only that, but I do a lot of research on channels, viewership, audience trends, stuff like that. I probably do too much research, to be honest. But I noticed that even big channels started to seeing a marked decrease in viewership, which crazy. So I think that everyone's just in this hangover mode where they're like, December was rough for so many reasons. I'm going to give it a break. And it's crazy how that happens. But all it takes to jumpstart 2024 is some seriously good designs. And I know that they're coming. Shout out to Level On Up. He says, can't wait. Got the Luft RWB coming on Friday. Yes. Congratulations, man. That's a cool knife. That is a cool piece. Mike Morgan says, I bet they'll do some micarta praxis. They'll do some micarta praxis, Steve. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be at all surprised. Experienced Precision in the house. Welcome in, man. He says they would be foolish to not make the Padre right now. Knife companies are known for doing this. They create a whole bunch of demand by making things not readily available. Just look at what Microtech has done. They're like, we're going to release enough for everyone to buy one. And then, a year and a half later, then you can get something like their new Ramlock stitch. No, but seriously, exclusivity is a bit of an issue in our community because companies know that it works. You do what Microtech's doing. You come out with a cool new updated design version of an already popular knife. You tell people that it's going to launch on this day, and then you launch like 10 of them, knowing damn well that you could sell out hundreds of these on the first go, maybe even thousands, and you release like 10. And then you just keep doing short releases so that everyone gets in and they're like, oh, I've got to get in. And they're paying attention. And it creates this exclusivity thing where people are like, well, if I don't get it now, it'll sell out and I don't know when they'll be available again. That happens. And it's on purpose. It's one of the things that I don't like about Microtech is that they do the whole exclusivity game. So next time you see a Microtech drop, don't bother because they only had 10 and it'll be very hard to get your hands on one. Or maybe do bother. Maybe you were one of the lucky 10. I don't know. Hey, shout out to Gator Aaron. Welcome in, man. Welcome in. I'm just complaining about exclusivity issues, but my point about the Kunwu Padre is I think that what they've done is that they've contracted and committed to making a certain amount, and then they're going to push all those out to the retailers. And then they're going to focus in and they're going to be like, okay, now we're going to focus in on 2024 designs. And then at the end of the year, they might do like a limited release of some of their older designs because the interest is still there. What they don't want to do is make so many where there is a positive stock and everyone that wants one has bought one. Business. Craig Vincent says, yesterday I had a Resilience arrive. Today it was a Caribbean LC200 and 2 cold steel traditional slip joints. Last week was 2XL cold steel folders. Damn. My man is trying hard. You've got all the knives coming in. Every day is Christmas at Craig's house. Man, I have a hard time keeping up with that, dude. I do. Michael Morgan says, oh, I bet they'll do the standard G10 micarta and Caborsha wood like the other ones. Yeah. Jay Scott says, you pretty much convinced me to keep it. Dude, keep it. Or better yet, send it to me. I'll keep it. I don't have a Padre yet. I wanted one. I definitely wanted one. All right. So I wanted to ask you guys something because I get contacted by smaller channels or newer channels that are trying to get going. I try to be approachable when possible. It can be tough sometimes because my Instagram is hard. It's difficult. I get a lot of messages. Half of them are spam. And so sometimes it's hard for me to answer all the messages that I get on Instagram. But I was wondering if there would be any interest to bring back channel raids, but specifically for the critiquing, the constructive critiquing of newer channels. Like, let's say channels at the 1,000 subscribers or less. And more to the point, we'd be constructive. We're not trying to tear anybody down, but we'd be constructive, and we could raid these channels in the live streams. Would there be any interest in that? Would you guys be interested at all in doing some live critiquing of some YouTube channels? I'd be happy to do that. I think it'd be fun. I think the challenge would be to not hurt people's feelings. Some people like getting roasted. That's a thing. Some people are very defensive though. But I was curious, would there be any interest in doing some live critiquing of newer / smaller channels to potentially help them grow? We could even take recommendations or requests. What do you guys think? Neil McKenzie says, I have 11 subs and no content. What's your secret? What's the sauce? How do you get subscribers without making content? Gator Aaron says, "Aw, Roll don't have no Padre." I don't. Does that make me an orphan? It's true. Padre is one of those that I wanted. Gator Aaron says, "Sure, why not? I'm a dad, so always down to tell someone how they're not holding the light right." But you have to do so while also making bad puns. Bad puns come with the territory. All right. B Devious says, "I love constructive but love criticism more." Hey man, you know what? Some people love roasts. I watch roasts. I think that they're entertaining. Jim T says, "Sounds like fun." Steve says, "We could." Do we have a new live stream idea? Maybe we could do it where we ask people to submit a channel that they'd like to see critiqued, and the channel can request it. And we could just latch on that on a weekly basis. So I could do like a poll, so to speak. POLL, not POLE. Get it right. I know what was in your minds. But each week we could do one. Neil says, "I'm from New Jersey. It's my New Jersey charm." You know, I've never been to New Jersey, but I heard that you guys do have the best sandwiches. Is that a fact? Is that fiction? I've heard that good sub sandwiches don't exist this side of the Rockies, that I've been missing out. Now I just want a sandwich. Jim Miller says, "Rollshambo, you've got the puns down." I've been training my whole life. My whole life. The dad jokes, the bad puns, I can't help it. Michael Morgan says, "I've slightly roasted a few channels, mainly mainly Casey, mainly Knives Fast." Dude, Knives Fast is one of the nicest guys. Casey from Knives Fast is truly a good dude. And did you know he works like 4 jobs and has a channel? Like, I can't complain anymore because I have a job and a channel, but I don't have 4 jobs. Damn. All right, Gator Aaron's confirming. He says, "I've had good sandwiches in New Jersey." Mark Park says, "As long as we can roast Tri-State, I'm down." I don't think he's roastable. I'm convinced that Cole is not roastable. Someone the other day said that Cole was like the Jim Carrey of the knife community. I agree. I think he takes everything and he turns it into a funnier joke than it was to begin with. I don't think that Cole is roastable. Maybe I'll make that a mission. Can we roast Cole? We could try. That could be dangerous, though. B Devious says, no hate on Knife Fanatic, but you should do him. Like a critique or a roast? Who is Knife Fanatic? All right, we might do one today. I just dropped the music off the face of the planet. Knife Fanatic. Who is Knife Fanatic? Why haven't I heard of him? Okay, 645 subscribers. So he qualifies. So, okay. Let's give it a shot. Let's give it the old college try. We're going to be constructive. That's the thing. I'm not here to tear anybody down. That's not my brand. I do like helping people. So we're going to offer some critique. And Knife Fanatic probably doesn't watch my live stream, but I will leave a comment. And if you guys want to raid this channel, I will actually have a channel moderator pop one of these videos in and we can raid it together. But I'm going to start offering critique right away. First of all, I love his logo. That logo is cool. It does make me wonder if he did that himself or if he paid someone to do that, but that's cool. I like that. He's got the sword going on. I like swords. I like knives. That's cool. 645 subscribers, 277 videos. How long has he been doing this for? He's a newer channel, so he's been doing it for 10 months. Dude, not bad at all. That is not bad at all. His most popular one has gotten, okay, yeah, his videos have gotten some playtime. Nice. Lately, looks like we got some up, we got some down. Okay, I'm not surprised. Lately it's been tough. The viewership has gone down a little bit. First thing I'm going to offer critique on is his thumbnails don't have any words in them, and there's no reason not to have custom thumbnails, guys, because custom thumbnails are important because they help grab attention and they help convey what you're doing in your video. So that would be my first thing is, and Knife Fanatic, if you watch this later, go to Canva. Canva is free. It's a website. You can add text to your images. Start doing custom thumbnails. Thumbnails are the bane of my existence, guys. But trust me when I say, if you're not going to put text on your thumbnails, it's got to be a thumbnail that people look at and they say, I wonder what's going on here. What's going on here? And that is a challenge that I still face. I am still trying to get better at making thumbnails. I see he's got one right here. It says Fool's Gold. The text on that needs to be bigger. That's what she said. I just want it to be bigger. Don't we all? Enhance. All right, we're gonna go ahead and critique his most recent videos, and if a channel mod would be so kind as to,
what's up, guys? Knife Fanatic.
If a channel mod would be so kind as to go to Knife Fanatic's channel and link over his most recent video into the chat. It's the Asher Knives Spiro review. This is going to be the one that we raid. And then I will, of course, pin that. I'm going to pull up the chat on my side. I might just do it. Let's see. All right. So hang tight. All right. And we're going to pin it. All right. So I went ahead and I pinned this. I'm going to let this play for a little bit and we're going to see. Right off the bat, something that I like, he shows the knife right away. He shows the knife right away. There's not this huge monologue before, like we're not waiting 2-3 minutes. Something that I've noticed is if you have a channel and you do not show the knife within the first minute and a half, people are clicking out like this because they're like, I don't care, or they're skipping ahead. And then everything that you spent time talking about before you showed the knife gets missed anyways. So that's good. I do actually like that. Boom.
What's up, guys? Knife Fanatic here. Hope all of y'all are having an amazing day.
Pretty good.
Today we're going to be doing a review on the Asher Knives Spyro here. I got this knife a few months back, and I've been carrying it off and on, mainly to work. And it's a fantastic knife, in my opinion. I got this knife for, I believe it was around 80 bucks. And I think I used like a lefty 10 code, and that's it brought it down to like 79, 80 bucks, I think, or something like that. But yeah, let's go over the knife real quick and kind of all
right. So something that I've noticed right away, and this is something that happens with a lot of new channels, and sometimes it happens to me too. But you think you know what you're going to say, and then you press the record button and you see the flashing red light and you're like, I don't know what I want to say anymore. That's how you get all of the but-ums. For example. So a piece of advice that I would have is, on a sticky note on your PC or a piece of paper, when you're thinking about what you want to say, write down just a list of things that you care about, that you want to talk about. And then you can reference it. I'm not saying script a video. A lot of channels do that. I don't script. Because it just doesn't feel natural to me, but write down a list of things that you want to talk about. And if you're recording on your PC, you can actually use the sticky note app to do that. Just write down a list, have it up so you can actually stay on topic. People have told me that they enjoy it. Comes from having a list of things that I want to talk about in front of me. That's it. So that would be a piece of advice that I have.
On a lot of fixed blades, S35 is a very good steel for harder uses.
I agree.
And that's kind of why I chose this knife for work. We have a fairly thin a blade stock here, very nice and slicey. Tall flat grind here, very large cutout hole in the blade, which I love. It works fantastic. Yeah, some jimping there that does provide some good traction. Solid lockup, no play side to side or up and down. Centering looks perfect to me. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. We got nested steel liners.
All right. Another critique is, and I've made this mistake before. This is one of the things that, never say that that's pretty much it if you're only halfway through the video. And the reason why is because some people will listen to that and be like, all right, well, cool, thanks for the video, and they'll click out. We've got another 5 minutes to go. So avoid stuff like saying that's pretty much it. If you can, and I'm not saying that I don't make these mistakes sometimes too, but there's a reason why I go back and re-record videos. Not necessarily on unboxings per se, but it comes with, again, having an idea of what you want to talk about and being purposeful in your recording. So far, I like that he's touching on things like the steel, his opinion on the deployment methods. He's checking the quality, the fit and finish things like the knife lockup, the blade centering. Those things are important. They're important to enthusiasts like me. They're important to enthusiasts like you. And he shows you what he's doing. I like that his background is simple. There's not a lot going on. The focus is on the knife. That's actually pretty good. I think that if he improves his presence and is more purposeful in what he's trying to say, he will grow a lot. He's only been doing this for 10 months. He's doing pretty good. And I think that his current, when you look at his most popular videos, the potential is definitely there. So that's about all I'm going to say on this, but I've got one more thing to check. Is there an outro?
Yeah, Spyderco one.
Too much dead space. Too much dead space. I'm going to wrap it up by saying, Knife Fanatic, if you are watching this live stream on replay, first of all, congratulations on achieving some pretty good stats for being 10 months in. You definitely deserve a round of applause for that. Take out the dead spaces in your video. Be purposeful. Write down a list of things that you want to talk about. Add words to your thumbnails. Make custom thumbnails. And make sure that the video is no longer than it needs to be. There is no magic sauce. If the video is 5 minutes long, it's 5 minutes long. If the video is 20 minutes long, it's 20 minutes long. But there's a saying. You truly only know something if you can explain it to an 8th grader. And once you can do that, you can explain it efficiently and clearly. So oftentimes when I do my videos, my goal is, if an 8th grader were to watch my video, would they understand what I'm talking about? And if the answer to that question is no, that means that I definitely need to work on the delivery. That's what I would suggest to you. Guys, I went ahead and pinned this video in the top of the chat. If everyone would be so kind and go to that video and let Mr. Knife Fanatic know that he has been Rollshambo rated, I would definitely appreciate that. And oh yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and check out the chat. I feel like it's been a minute. I was over here critiquing and I noticed that our viewership dropped heavily. People are like, dude, this is boring. We don't care about you critiquing other channels, Rollo. It's okay. It's also getting late. Shout out to everybody who's still here. But let's see. Anthony Kitchen, welcome in, man. He says, are you reviewing a reviewer? Pull mine up. I know it's bad. We're out of time. We don't have enough time to do another channel critique. And we're still going to try it out. We're still going to get this piece down because I think it could be fun. Maybe it'd be more fun if it was a roast. If it was truly a roast, not just a constructive critique. Craig Vincent says, when I propose to my next wife, I'll have a sticky note on my do what you feel is necessary, Craig. Let's see. Splitting Slices says, Rollshambo, just curious, what's your go-to editing software and for what platform? My go-to editing platform, is my music too loud? My go-to editing program is DaVinci Resolve. And I'll tell you why. DaVinci Resolve is free. And it's a professional editing suite that movie makers use. It's quite often used more than Adobe Premiere, which is the, pay-to-play program. And anything you can do in Adobe suites, like Adobe Creative Cloud, you can do in DaVinci Resolve, but DaVinci Resolve is free. So keep that in mind. That is 100%. If I'm making a video, it's getting edited in DaVinci Resolve. It does have a bit of a learning curve. I will say that. But DaVinci Resolve is my go-to for YouTube. If I'm editing photos in post, because I do use a professional mirrorless camera, I'm going to use Adobe Lightroom. That is not free, but it is worth it because you have control over the raw photos. Those are the two main programs I use for editing photos and videos. Level On Up says, all right, raid completed. Left a note blaming Rollshambo. That's fine. You can blame me. It was my critique. Level On Up says, how you and the fam and I'll drink milk doing. Hope all is well. we talking about drink water? Maybe I need to drink water. Drinkwater says the free version of DaVinci is pretty good. Yes, it is. And if you want the professional version, it's like $250, but you pay one time. With Adobe, you have to pay monthly. Adobe has the market cornered, except for video editing. DaVinci Resolve is being switched to as the industry standard. So for any of you guys out there who want to make content of any kind, or maybe you just want to edit videos, DaVinci Resolve is definitely the way to go. Whether you want to go with the free version, which is what I use, or if you want the premium version, it's $250 one time, and you get the updates in the professional suite for the rest of your life. It's pretty great. C. Kobe says, I need green titanium hardware for a PM2. Can anyone help? Yeah. Check this out. Go to rockscaledesigns.com and scroll down on their homepage until you get to Paramilitary 2. Now check this out. I don't know if this is the color that you want, but you can get it in green titanium, which I think is this one. It almost looks like a bit of a turquoise, but that is their green. $34 for a hardware kit. While you're there, pick up, and this is a tip, while you're modifying your PM2, go ahead and pick up one of their backspacers. You can get either one of the geared designs or one of the flat designs, and you can get it in a matching color. It's also titanium. But what's most important is that it replaces that really, really, really stock Spyderco lanyard tube, which is a pain to get out. You see that? The lanyard tube is a part of it. So it matches aesthetically. It replaces a lanyard tube. And if you look, you see that? It's not just a hole that you put over the barrel spacers. It actually gets rid of those, and you screw the body screw directly into the back spacer. Oh, yeah. And that is a tip, my friends, because there's a few things that I dislike about the Spyderco PM2's stock, and that is that you get these spinning barrel spacers, so it makes it difficult to take it apart. You get this ball-peened lanyard tube, which makes the scales hard to take off without damaging. And when you replace it with one of these back spacers, you can fix both of those issues right away, and it looks cool, and it's titanium. It protects your blade. It's honestly what I would do. So if you're going to buy the screw set, also get the back spacer. Yeah, you're spending another $52, but your knife will be so much easier to take apart and maintenance. Totally worth it. A shout out to Brian Kerr in the house. Getter Aaron says the geared back spacer is legit. Yes, it is. I have one. I have two, and you can get it in whatever of these colors you want it. You can even get it in the raw blasted, which is pretty cool as well. Highly recommend it. Also recommend their scales too. Like, check these out. You can get the just the plain scales. You can get some that are milled. The critter scales, that's cool. You can get the hexi scales, that's also cool. And it's not just the PM2. They do benchmades. They do the Demcos, other Spydercos. It's cool. Rock Scale Design is all American made as well, which has become important to me. When I modify an American made knife, I got to use American parts. It's important because otherwise it'll stick in the back of my mind and it'll bother me that I took a fully American made product and I used imported parts. So if you find yourself in that same rabbit hole and you want to modify your Spyderco with American made parts, Rockscale is definitely one that I would suggest. No, I am not sponsored by them, but I am a huge fan of their products. I think they do a phenomenal job. Mr. Prosthetic says, hey, Roll, what brand are those Wave thumb studs you use on your Spyderco? So it depends. If it's the one on my Para 3, it's by 5x5 Combat Solutions. People always ask me about this one, so check it out. 5x5 Combat Solutions, so it's 5x5combatsolutions.com. Click on their products, and they've got some cool products, like the Afterknife Exo tools. Like, that's crazy. But what you're looking for is this guy. It's called the Pickpocket. And it is USA made. It's aluminum. It screws in. And let me see. Where did I hold on one second. I've got to get the Para 3 we're talking about. I must have misplaced it. Where did I put my Para 3? Dear Lord. I need to clean up my office, guys. But it's $35. It screws in. You can get it for the Delica, the Yojimbo, the Paramilitary 2, the Para 3, the Mannix 2, the Tenacious, the Canis, the Civilian, the Shaman, the Native Chief, and it's American made. Cool little piece. You can get it in black or stainless. There you go. So that's the one that I use on my Para 3. The other one that I have that I actually used to use on my PM2, but I took it off just because I stopped enjoying it. But it's the Wiseman Company Fang. Same cost, $35, also aluminum. And you can get it in black, or you can get it in aluminum, or the machined look, which is like the raw look. And you can get it for the PM2, the Para 3, the Mannix, the Tenacious, benchmade Griptilian, or the Endura, or the Delica. $35. That's wisemancompany.com if you want that one. Personally, I think that the 5x5 Combat Solutions Pickpocket I think that aesthetically it looks better. They both operate roughly about the same. Your results are going to be roughly about the same. I think that this one feels like more of a part of the knife, whereas the Fang 100% feels like more of an add-on, if that makes sense. Gator Aaron says, all right, I got to slide out too, Roll, and y'all have a great night. Gator Aaron, thanks for dropping by, my man. Barbarian Brawny says, these are a lot better than the zip tie I've been using. Whatever works, dude. Whatever works. And as long as you enjoy it, that's what matters the most. It's really easy to go down that rabbit hole of modifying your knife with aftermarket parts, and then you look at it and you're like, wow, I've spent way too much money on this. Been there. But guys, I am going to go ahead and call it a night as well, because it's gym day. I got to get my fat butt over to the gym so that I, don't start looking more round. That's very, very important. But also because it's been a long day, and I know that everyone needs to get on with the rest of their night. So without further ado, something that I always do is say thank you for tuning into the live stream. A reminder, I am now going live on Saturdays as well as Wednesdays. So my next live stream will be Saturday at 1:30 Mountain Standard Time. If you want to join in, we're trying to get those going just like we get the Wednesday ones going. So please do join in. if you can. That's 1:30 Mountain Time. That'll be 3:30 Eastern Time, 2:30 Central Time, or 12:30 Pacific Time. No matter where you are, no matter who you are, thank you for supporting the channel. Aside from that, my friends, I will catch you on the flip side.